So this is what a year on YouTube looks like for me. Holy moly. So it has been a year since I started my tarot and spiritual journey, since I started my Instagram account, and since I started this lovely YouTube channel. So for today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the things that I have learned over this past year, share with you guys some of the things that I am extremely thankful for, and yeah, sort of just take a little trip down memory lane. So it definitely feels like I have been working with the tarot and trying to discover and explore more of my spiritual side for longer than a year. I'm surprised that it has only been a year. So technically it was a year in January. It was a year in January that I started my Instagram account as well. And then my YouTube channel was either the end of January or the beginning of February that I started that. And I started those social media accounts because I thought it would be fun and helpful to document my learning experience as I went. I wanted to be able to look back and see how far I've come. And I also knew that by joining Instagram and YouTube, I was going to find a community where I could connect and relate with people who enjoyed the same types of things that I did. And I was hoping to make some really cool connections. And I'm happy to say that over the past year, I have definitely made some connections with some pretty incredible people. Looking back at the beginning where it all started, I didn't know if tarot was going to be something that I stuck with. I can be the type of person who starts something and does it for a while, and then it starts to fade out, and either I forget about it altogether or I will come back to it, a few months or a couple of years, whatever, later and try again. But tarot has stuck with me the entire way through. It hasn't been a smooth ride, I'll say that. There was definitely times that I questioned things and had to ask myself if I am on the right path. There was some self-doubt, and I found myself having to just sit down and really think and contemplate about my feelings and if this was truly something that I wanted to do. And I would say that that was sort of happening near the middle point of my journey, that I started to have some doubts. So I took a little bit of a break in between, and it found its way back to me. I found my way back to tarot, and it was then that I realized that it is something that I want to continue doing and have as a big part of my life. Over the past year, I have created somewhat of a sacred space where I can keep all of my decks and all of my spiritual belongings, which is this little shelving space over here where I keep all of my decks and my spiritual belongings up top here. I also have a few things that my friend has let me borrow because I've been interested in branching out a little bit and exploring some new things. And that's another thing that I have been really grateful for over this past year. Not only have I made some really cool connections with people online, but I've made some really cool discoveries and connections with people that I actually know. So I have a few friends that I'm able to connect with, and we talk about our spiritual journeys, and we're able to sort of help each other out and teach each other different things, which has been really cool. There has been friends that I didn't even know were interested in tarot and just spiritual things and learning more about that, and this has brought me to discovering those new things about my good friends. And it's funny because in the beginning I didn't tell anybody about my tarot journey, or really they knew that I was working with the tarot cards, but I kept it a secret, that I started an Instagram account, that I started a YouTube channel, and it was only around really a couple of months ago, I want to say, that I actually started to open up about those things. I liked having the Instagram and the YouTube channel sort of be my other sacred space and almost like a secret, even though it was online for everybody to see, so secret, not so secret. But I liked having it to myself. But then as time went on, I found myself wanting to be able to share things with the people in my life and talk to them about the Instagram post that I did or the YouTube video that I made, because I knew that I was working with the tarot and I would talk to them openly about that, but they didn't know that I was also sharing what I'm learning and things like that on social media as well. But when I felt comfortable enough to open up about that, things sort of, it was almost like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders a little bit, and I liked connecting with my friends and family about it and hearing their feedback on the things that I was sharing online and just having their overall support. So it did take some time for me to open up about that, but at the end of the day, I am very glad that I did. I also found it to be quite interesting because I have started multiple different YouTube channels for different things, mainly for books because I do enjoy reading and writing. So I did start a couple of YouTube channels or booktube channels that was centered around the books that I was reading or writing, but for some reason it never really stuck. It was almost like I was really trying hard to reach for content. I didn't know what to make content about. But with tarot, I have so much to say about it. I'm learning so much every day. I'm just learning something new that it's given me a lot to talk about and a lot to share, which has been really, really fun and exciting because I am someone who enjoys making videos and editing videos and things like that. So to be able to continuously come up with new content to make has been really fun and really exciting. I think overall this past year I have really discovered a different side of myself, a side that I feel like I was in touch with more when I was younger, something that I connected with very briefly when I was younger, and then as I grew up I sort of shut it out and didn't really want to focus on it anymore. And I don't know, I feel like I just kind of lost my way a little bit, and then by starting my tarot journey and my spiritual journey, I feel like I have found that piece of myself again. Getting more in touch with my spiritual side has been a big relief, especially when things in my everyday life get a little bit hectic and stressful. Focusing on more of my spiritual side has become a relief and a way of escaping almost, and it's just nice to be able to have this to turn to and focus my attention on, not just in the good times but in the bad times as well. It's almost like a whole new world has been opened for me. Life was very linear. It was very just tunnel vision almost, and I didn't really know where I was going. I still sometimes don't know where I'm going, but I just feel more okay with that now. Tarot has definitely opened my eyes to accepting the fact that it's okay if you don't know where you're headed. Life is definitely tough and it's okay if you don't know what your next step is gonna be. It's okay to take a moment to pause, to breathe, and just be mindful and in the moment. These are all things that I would say I wasn't really aware of a year ago. And then going back to the connections that I've made through social media, it's just a really great feeling to be able to connect with people who are all over the world, or even find people who are not that far away from me, and connect with them about something like this that you can't really connect with everybody about. So I am truly thankful for those connections, because those were the ones that were there when I didn't feel as confident or comfortable with sharing about my tarot journey with the people that I have in my life at that moment. So yeah, those were the things that I wanted to talk a bit about today. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been with me since the very beginning, a year ago. The people that connect with me and communicate with me on a daily basis almost, who always check in with me and are supportive of my journey and just give me the boost and the motivation that on some days I really need. I'm looking forward to seeing where this next year on my spiritual journey will take me, and I also look forward to sharing more of my journey with all of you. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in the next one.